Scottie Scheffler sent packing. Best player in the world just saw his streak of 78 consecutive cuts come to an end in Scotland. Now the entire Genesis Scottish Open is wide open heading into the weekend. You got plenty of betting opportunities heading into moving day. That's not all. Tonight we're officially launching 4th and Goal as we begin the countdown to football season. Less than 2 months until the NFL returns. And we're kicking things off with an NFC West preview. Full NFC West preview tonight, plus MLB Best Bets, Tommy Trend, Bark Bets Clown of the Week, and go off the rails. What do you say we talk some sports, try to find an edge, and let's have some fun tonight. Welcome in, it's Tommy Trends. It's Off the Hook, sports talk that pays off. As always, we are powered by Pikkit. Download the Pikkit app, the Google Play Store, the App Store. Put in code OTH when you set up your account and sync your books. Track your crew, your bets, the live movements, all in one place, all at your fingertips. And it's a Pikkit app. Mookie and Nash are keeping me in check here. We got a jam-packed slate tonight. Scottie Scheffler's unbelievable cut streak is officially over after he misses the cut today. We'll break down the updated leaderboard, biggest movers heading into moving day, who's got a shot, and where's the betting value tomorrow in moving day. But before we get to golf, we'll go across the diamond, look at the slate tonight, MLB Best Bets, the trends, and the games that we're looking at. And tonight is a big one for this channel. We're going to officially launch in 4th and Goal. It's going to become our home for deeper NFL and college coverage throughout the season. Conference previews, division breakdowns, win totals, futures, betting angles, and everything to get you ready for football season as well as throughout the season. And tonight, we're going to start in the NFC West, the home of the defending Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks. We'll go through the Rams, 49ers, Cardinals. We'll break it all down, get you a Tommy Trend of the day. Bark Bets, as always, presented by Freedom First Rescue, featuring Addie, the pup up for adoption this week. And then we'll get the award nobody wants, the Clown of the Week. And we'll wrap things up by going completely off the rails. So if you're watching live, jump into the chat. Let us know where you're watching from, what you're betting. And, does Scheffler missing the cut? Does that change anything? Looking to next week's Open Championship? So we'll take a look. But what do you say we go across the diamond and quickly look at the MLB slate for tonight and some games that we like here on our radar. Let's start in Pittsburgh. Brewers, they come in at 59-34, own one of the best road records of baseball. Actually own the best road record in baseball at 30-16. Pirates are sitting at 500 at 47-47, and they're trying to build on that series against the Braves. But what's interesting here is the betting market. So the Pirates opened at around a minus 135. But despite the public betting being basically split at 50-50, the line actually dropped toward Pittsburgh and moved toward Milwaukee. So that usually means that the respective money, the sharp money, is going to grab the dog here. So DraftKings is showing Milwaukee with 67% of the money, despite only 50% of the tickets. And then if you look at, say, like a sharp book, say like Circa, Brewers are getting over 90% of both tickets in dollars. So sharp money seems to be siding with the Brewers in this spot. Now, from a baseball standpoint, when you look at this game, Brandon Sprout has quietly been much better of late. Allowed just 3 earned runs over his last 15 and a third innings. And then meanwhile, Braxton Ashcraft, he's been an absolute stud. 9-3, 3.24 ERA, named an All-Star, and already has 122 strikeouts on the season. So one pick here I like for this matchup is Ashcraft over 6.5 strikeouts, getting plus money there, right along where he's projected. It projects him nearly 7 strikeouts, and he's gone over this number in 4 straight starts. He actually punched out 10 Mariners back on June 24th. And look, he's consistently generating more swings and misses. Another lean tonight, Pirates money line, and I really don't hate over 8 runs either. Next matchup, Mariners-Rays. And look, this basically opened at a pick'em for tonight's game, but then sharp money quickly came in on Tampa, and now we're seeing the Rays somewhere around minus 113, minus 115. Even some spots get up to minus 120. DraftKings is showing about 75% of the tickets, and a ridiculous 97% of the money on Tampa. So that really tells you where the sharp money is landing on this game. And it makes sense when you look at it, right? Nick Martinez, he's been outstanding. 2.61 ERA, and Tampa is 13-4 in his starts this season. And meanwhile, the Mariners just 6-11 in Luis Castillo starts. That's fucking terrible. And the Rays are 33-14 at home, 24-8 as home favorites. Both are best in the majors. So picks for this game. Look, Tampa money line, it's obvious. And another angle, if you don't like playing the full game, maybe you like playing the totals. So I do like over 7.5 there as well for this game. Next up, Cleveland Indians travel down to South Florida to take on the Marlins. And look, this Marlins team, they just keep winning, right? They just swept the Mariners. They're 31-17 at home, one of the hottest teams in baseball right now. And the line also opened around a pick'em, but now Miami's sitting somewhere around minus 115, minus 120. Again, sharp money and driving the move for this game. And Miami has a huge edge from an offensive standpoint, right? They're hitting 255 as a team. The Indians just 216 on the road. That's the worst batting average in Major League Baseball. So, hey, look, Marlins money line makes sense here. Also, Sandy Alcantara, the strikeout prop, that's actually worth looking at. Over 5.5 Ks. I do like that there. Look, Cleveland Indians striking out over 26% of the time against righties over their last 10 games. So I do like that there. And look, the Mets meltdown continues. And this is becoming a favorite daily segment because we told you about a week or so ago that, look, this Mets dumpster fire, we're just going to continue to fade the Mets the rest of the season and track it on Pikkit, and we're going to see how profitable we are fading this Mets team. And look, the dumpster fire rolls on, right? And look, I really don't care that the Mets won 2 in a row. Could care less. Boston comes in as a plus money dog tonight, and look, I even like the over 7.5. But I don't know. It's got to play one. I definitely play the over versus the under here. But look, the Mets are relying on a bunch of young hitters to come through. Well, like AJ Ewing, I mean, he's been great lately, but I just think the market is overvaluing the Mets here just because they won 2 in a row. Who cares? They beat the fucking Royals. So, look, Red Sox money line, you're getting plus 115, plus 117, somewhere around there, depending on what book you're using. But I do like the Red Sox money line. So until further notice, we're going to continue to fade the Mets here for the rest of the season because they are a complete fucking dumpster fire. Next on tap, the Phillies in Detroit to take on the Tigers. This is an interesting game because Aaron Nola has struggled late and it's been fucking trash. It's just trash. And Jack Flaherty hasn't been any better. He's trash too. I didn't like him when he was with the Dodgers. He was up and down. Sometimes look good, sometimes look completely fucking horrible. But both pitchers, I mean, not looking good coming in this game on either side. But if you look at weather and you're playing the weather factor here and looking at the environment, the recent trends at Comerica Park and with the humidity, it points to a lower scoring game than what the public expects. So, under 8.5. I even saw one of the books up to 9 or 9.5. I would definitely grab the under. I guess if you're looking for a side, Nola or Flaherty, while both are terrible, if you're looking for plus money, maybe you play the Phillies money line. But I like the under 8.5, or even, like I said, some books are up to 9.5. So if you get that higher number, I like that better than Phillies money line, to be honest with you. Yankees Nationals game. Look, the fucking Yankees are just so bad. And the Nationals are playing good ball. I'll take the Nationals money line at plus money. I've seen it at plus 135 and was plus 140, plus 142. I grab the Nationals money line there. Just think that the Yankees struggles, I think, are going to continue. Another one, Royals and Orioles. I like the under 9.5 there. Cubs Reds matchup. Look, Hunter Green coming back. I like the Reds money line here to get it done. A's White Sox. A's are just bad. Guys are banged up. Give them their White Sox money line tonight on that one. Blue Jays Padres. God. Blue Jays money line if I had to play it. San Diego is just. They're both not doing well right now, but Blue Jays money line would be a pick. And then Rockies Giants. It's a Robbie Ray regression spot here. I say play the over 8. I do like that. So, look, we already talked about the Braxton Ashcraft over 6.5 Ks for a prop. The Alcantara over 5.5 Ks is another prop. Ryan Weathers over 5.5 Ks. I like that one. Devers one. I do like it. I don't know if I like it enough. But it did kind of catch my eye. Over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. And I do like Schwarber over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs in their matchup with the Tigers tonight. So a quick run through the MLB slate. That's all we have. Oh, I do like Ohtani tonight for the Dodgers. And right now, I can tell you what I played it at from a strikeout. Give me a sec. So Ohtani strikeout number over 6.5 strikeouts for Ohtani tonight. I do like that. I got that at plus money, at plus 127 there. I also like the under 8.5, just because Ohtani's pitching. So if you want to throw something on that game, those would be my plays for the Dodgers Diamondbacks matchup tonight from Chavez Ravine. So again, fading the Mets, sharp money on the Brewers, Tampa Bay, and the Marlins are getting lots of sharp money on both those teams, and we'll see if some of those strikeout props can cash as well. But that's a quick run through the MLB slate. First pitch is coming up. So let's go across the pond now and get you caught up on the latest golf action from the Genesis Scottish Open. And as we said at the start of the show, Scheffler packing his bags. He gone. Listen, we'll get into the Scheffler stat in a second, but I mean, who would have thought? Right? A lot of people were high on Scheffler, but we talked about it on Tee to Green. We said, how is Scheffler going to respond after the playoff with Victor Hovland the other week at the Travelers? Right? Now I would have expected Scheffler to respond a little bit better than what he did, considering you had favorable scoring conditions, which is rare at this tournament. Usually you get fog in the morning, howling winds. It's like 50, 60 degrees. But the first 2 days of this tournament, wind was a little bit, picked up a little bit today. But overall, first 2 days here in Scotland, great weather. Guys certainly taking advantage of the scoring here with the weather conditions. And would have expected more from Scheffler, but he didn't get it done. He's packing his bags. And this is the first time, this was his 79th start, but he made 78 straight cuts. 78 straight cuts. The last time Scottie Scheffler missed a cut was the FedEx St. Jude Championship in August of 2022. 78 consecutive tournaments. That's nearly 4 years that we saw Scottie Scheffler playing weekend golf. 1,428 days. Right? So now Scheffler sent packing. And he has to think about next week's Open Championship and how he is going to fare there. And, opening round 68, shot a 72 today. He was total par for the 2 rounds, but that's not good enough. Like we said, these guys took advantage of the scoring conditions. They got lower scoring than expected, and he didn't take advantage of that. The projected cut landed at 2 under, so he missed it by two strokes. And it's not like he came in playing bad golf. It's just, how was he going to respond losing the playoff to Hovland a couple weeks ago? So, look, he was a final group at the U.S. Open as well. And of course, the Travelers playoff to Hovland. He has a win, 4 runner-up finishes, 2 third-place finishes this season, and now add a missed cut to that. So his worst finish all year before this week was tied for 24th. That's just how good Scottie Scheffler has been all year, despite not having a win since January, right? So now he's heading to Royal Birkdale, where he's going to attempt to defend the Open Championship. And, the last person to do that and run it back was Patty Harrington, 2008, 2009. So can Scheffler regroup and get it done next week? We said it on Tee to Green. If you're looking at historical trends, the trend tells you no, because the last 4 Open Championship winners have finished 12th or better in this Scottish Open Championship. So history not on Scheffler's side going into next week. But can he regroup and can he defend his title next week? Guess we're going to find out. Now, not only is Scheffler packing his bags, but I can guarantee there's a lot of people's tickets that are in the trash, because let me just run down a list of guys who missed the cut. Shane Lowry missed the cut. Aaron Rai missed the cut. Patty Cantlay missed the cut. Brooks Koepka missed the cut. And Ludwig Åberg, he missed the cut as well. So a lot of notables sent back in here and getting the hell out of Scotland, and they got to prep for next week's Open Championship. Guys that started out okay yesterday and then fell apart today. Even Scheffler started out, the first 9 holes were fine. The last 27 holes sucked. So a lot of big names sent packing early from Scotland, and they'll have to reset and regroup for next week. Now, let's look at who's actually sticking around here. So after 36 holes, if you look at who's tied at the top here, and I'll pull up the latest leaderboard for the Genesis Scottish Open. So we now have at the top of the leaderboard, it is a 3-way tie between Jordan Smith, Tom Kim, and Rory, all 9 under. And then right there, tailing them, is Matty Fitzpatrick at 8 under. Minwoo Lee is also right there at 8 under. Bobby McIntyre, 7 under. Defending champion Chris Gotterup, 7 under. Nikolai Hogard, he is at 6 under, tied for 13th. I'm just kind of scanning the list here. Patty Reed tied for 18th at 5 under. Justin Thomas tied for 25th. He's 4 under. Let's see. Terrell Hatton, he's also tied for 25th at 4 under. Tommy Fleetwood, 3 under, tied for 38th. He was even today. Let's see. I'm scrolling here. Eric Cole did move up. He's now tied for 49th. He is 2 under. He made the cut after not looking so good yesterday, but big improvement from him today. And JJ Spawn is also 2 under. Victor Hovland, 2 under. So, this group at 9 under, this 3-way tie we have, they have some separation, but Look, it's anybody's game. And you look at big movers. Justin Thomas moved up 28 spots today. Terrell Hatton moved up 47 spots. Sahith Theegala moved up 34 spots. Hell, even John Rahm moved up 88 spots. John Rahm, opening round 73, comes back today and fires off a 65. He made the cut. Let's see. A couple other big movers here. Let's see. Ryan Fox up 74 spots today. Eric Cole, he moved up 50 spots. So a lot of big movers taking it. Again, these guys took advantage of the conditions that they got there at the Scottish Open from the Renaissance Club. And they got it done. And some of these guys yesterday, we thought Eric Cole was cooked. We thought Rahm was probably cooked. But again, they got it done. And now they survive the cut and move on to the weekend. And look, if you look, I mean, Rory's pretty much right where he wanted to be, and we said it on Wednesday on Tee to Green. Which Rory you're going to get? Because when he plays this tournament and he goes home, he definitely finds a different gear, and he's found it. Open with a 65. I had a 66 today. Didn't panic. Just put himself in position for the weekend. He just looked comfortable the last two rounds. I'm not a Rory fan, but his driver's been good. Iron play has been sharp. And he just looks like a guy who's prepared for next week. And this is really, it's a final tune-up before the Open. And we're going to keep hammering it. The last 4 Open Championship winners have finished 12th or better in this tournament. So if we're looking at top 12 right now, you're looking at Gotterup, Bobby Mack. I'm just giving you names you guys would know. Tom Kim, Rory, Matty Fitzpatrick, Minwoo Lee, Jordan Smith. Right. So those would be the guys in the top 12 as of now who, with that trend, would be projected to win the Open. So, but again, Rory, I mean, he's doing what elite players do and put himself in position now. So let's see if he can keep that going or if makes some mistakes tomorrow on moving day and falls back. But, I mean, look at the chasers, though. Matty Fitzpatrick, who played along Scheffler the past 2 days, he now holds the longest streak of made cuts at 28 in a row now that Scheffler went home early. And then Minwoo Lee hanging around there. I mean, some of these guys, they really made up a lot of ground today. And then Gotterup, your defending champ. Look, fresh off that John Deere Championship win, shot a 68 Thursday, 65 today. And he had a really good round today. A couple of mistakes in the back, but put himself right in contention to run it back this year. So, and look, he's proven last year wasn't a fluke. And don't sleep on hometown favorite Bobby McIntyre. So, 7 under, 2 shots off the lead. If he gets hot this weekend, the crowd's going to lose their mind. So looking at moving day, I mean, what stands out? Again, Rory's right where he wants to be. He doesn't need to force anything. He doesn't need to chase. He just needs to maintain. The leaderboard is crowded. I mean, you go through all the way down, right through the top 20, top 25. All these guys are right there, just a few shots back off the lead. So it's really wide open. And Scheffler paid the ultimate price for just being slightly off and making some mistakes. He couldn't take advantage of the weather. Neither could Koepka, Schauffele, Ludwig. These guys are leaving. Meanwhile, we have a wide open tournament. You know, I don't think Rory's going to win. I think somewhere he's gonna fall off, but maybe I'm just a Rory hater. I don't know. I like the way Gotterup played today. I mean, he moved up 21 spots. Now, whether there's projected to be some rain possibly tonight into tomorrow there. We'll see if that does anything. But these were the two best days so far weather-wise. And not going to be much worse the rest of the weekend, but guys took advantage of it today. So wide open tournament over there in Scotland. And we'll see who can get it done this weekend, because it is a jam-packed leaderboard here, and I don't know. It should be a good one. Should be a good finish. Would love to see Gotterup run it back, but Scottie Scheffler, the big story, 78 straight cuts, and now he's gone. So no Scheffler in the field to chase anybody. So we should get a lot of good golf tomorrow for moving day, and then the final round on Sunday. So, all right, let's go down to Louisville, Kentucky, and get you caught up on the ISCO Championship. That this leaderboard, a lot of movement here with this leaderboard today. So, I mean, this tournament here in Kentucky is pretty much Lucas Glover's to lose. Now, he lost to John Deere last week, puts himself in contention again. He opened with a 63 yesterday, followed up with a 64 today, sits 13 under par. He's right now, he's still too clear of the field for this tournament. A couple guys finishing up, but for the most part, everyone in the clubhouse. So you have Lucas Glover, your leader, at 13 under. And then Chan Kim is so he's 11 under. And then Stephen Fisk is also 11 under. Aaron Wise, he's right there at 10 under. Last year's winner, William Mao, 9 under. He's in 6th right now. Stephan Jaeger, 8 under in 7th. So this leaderboard is tight. There's only a 2-shot difference between Kim and Glover. And we talked about Lucas Glover during Wednesday's Tee to Green show. It was one of the names that we highlighted because of his recent form, but it was going to be, well, how is he going to bounce back after losing that 54-hole lead last week at the John Deere Classic? And, of course, we have small greens. The approach play we said was going to matter. It was like maybe around 4,000, a little over 4,000 square feet of greens, which is like half the size of what you're getting at the Scottish Open. So, and Glover's iron game, it fit this tournament, this course profile, and it's exactly what you need to win this thing the way he's been playing. So now he finds himself in sole possession of the lead. Heading into moving day there in Louisville. And Chan Kim, 11 under, right there behind him. He had an opening round 64, and he shot a 65 today, so now 2 shots back from Glover. Now, previously, he's posted around a 61 here, so look, he's not intimidated by this course at all. And then we said Aaron Wise at 10 under. He fired off a 65 in both rounds. And Wise is interesting because we haven't seen much from him lately, but suddenly he's in contention heading into the weekend there. We already talked William Mao, 7 under. Taylor Pendrith shot a 63 today and moved all the way up into the top 10. Chandler Phillips also hanging around. Now, probably the biggest name coming in this tournament, we talked about Max Homa, was the favorite here. He said he could have played over at the Open, the Scottish Open, but had a commitment here and wanted to honor his commitment. So he went to Louisville instead. and was the highest ranked player in the field as he was a runner-up at the John Deere last week. He is currently right now 5 under. So 8 shots off the lead for Max Homa. Still in contention, but got a lot of work to do. Trying to see who he's grouped with here. So Homa, I'm sorry, he's 3 under. Now, he's tied for 49th. He's 3 under. So he's got to make up 10 strokes. Not saying he can't do it, because he did make a charge last weekend at the John Deere on Saturday and Sunday to finish second. But 10 shots back, the way Glover's playing, I'm not sure if he's going to get it done. I don't know. Tom Hoagie's tied for 8th. He's 7 under. Denny McCarthy, 7 under, tied for 8th. Joel Damon, 6 under, tied for 19th. And I don't know. I don't see Joel Damon doing anything. Lee Hodges, 2 under. But it doesn't really matter because he gone. The projected cut, there's still a couple guys on the course, but Lee Hodges on the outside looking in. The projected cut line right now, because there's still guys out playing, the projected cut line is 3 under. So right now, Hodges would miss it unless it moves. Probably not going to, but there are still guys out on the course. Ben Coles, who had the meltdown last week, he is tied for 66. He's 2 under, and he's on 17. So it goes from having a meltdown and double bogey on 18 and missing out on a payout difference of over $300,000 payout difference from him slipping last week and that double bogey on 18 to now he's most likely going to miss the cut if this number stays at 3 under. Which means Homa would survive at 3 under and get into the weekend. So 3 under seems to be the number with a few guys left finishing up on their back 9. So we'll see. But the biggest story heading into the weekend is Scheffler missing the cut for the first time in fucking 4 years, for over 1,400 days. And we'll see how he fares next weekend at the Open Championship. And good luck heading to Saturday here at the ISCO Championship. Glover, 13 under. Kim, 11 under. Aaron Wise, 10 under. A pack of players trying to chase these guys down. So, look, can Lucas Glover hang on this week and get it done? Or is somebody else going to make a charge here and knock him off? But, I don't know. It feels like, Glover really hasn't lost a step from last week, and he just looks like the guy to beat, just watching him play the first 2 rounds. And we talked about it Wednesday on Tee to Green. I mean, the reason he was so high on a lot of people's cards for this isn't a guy trying to find his game. His game was there. He just slipped, made a couple mistakes last week on Sunday, and couldn't get it done. I mean, he knows where his game is. He's not trying to find his game. And he said after the round, he absolutely loves this golf course. And it does fit his style. From fairways, the good iron play. He's a patient player. And he knows he doesn't have to overpower the course to get it done. So, as we go into moving day, watching Ken Glover hang on, and then Stephan Jaeger, Troy Merritt. Can some of these other guys and this pack charging behind him, can they make a run, or can Glover hold them off? Really, it's going to come down to, Glover, he has the experience and knows how to manage a golf tournament, but again, he's got pressure now behind him. Guys are only 2, Kim's only 2 strokes back. But that's what makes these alternate field events a lot of fun, because there's a lot at stake here. Even though when you look at the field, You're like, well, I don't know that guy. I know that guy. I don't know that guy. You're kind of going back and forth. And I'll be honest, I don't know half these fucking guys either. So I just research how they played, where they played last, what their strokes gained and approach play is, strokes gained off the tee. Same thing with the Scottish Open. We talked about it Wednesday on Tee to Green, and we said it's a European invasion with the DP World Tour, the co-sanctioned event. And if you factor in some of the LIV players, you could say it's like a tri-sanctioned event, right, in different leagues. But some of the names, not watching, I don't watch it. Occasionally watch the DP World Tour, I'll be honest. And it's not, it's on the fucking Golf Channel late, and I don't watch it. But so you have to kind of just research the field of guys and see how they played on this type of course, how they played over the last 30 days, last couple months. But again, there's a lot at stake here at the ISCO Championship. $720,000 goes the winner, 300 FedEx Cup points. You get a 2-year PGA Tour exemption, and you get a spot in the 2027 PGA Championship in Frisco, Texas. That's life-changing for a lot of these guys. So there is a lot at stake, we're getting good golf. It's a good field. Like I said, maybe some guys a lot of people haven't heard of outside the Max Homa, the Lucas Glover, Joel Damon, right? But Lee Hodges, some of these other guys. But there's a lot of good golf here to be played. So we'll see. We'll be back here tomorrow and recap everything. Get updates on both round 3 in Scotland and then round 3 here in Louisville for the ISCO Championship. And one thing I wanted to show yesterday, and I forgot, so we'll talk about it now. I'm surprised this hasn't been done before, but good on TaylorMade. So TaylorMade launched the TP5 and TP5X baseball edition to celebrate America's favorite pastime. And I'm surprised this hasn't been done. It's a fucking home run. I mean, and then they launched the commercial for it, which is even better. So here is the new TaylorMade commercial honoring America's pastime with the TaylorMade baseball collection.
Time. Come on, bub. Got this. Let's go.
Absolutely knocked it out of the park with that commercial. Now, if you go to the TaylorMade website and try to order the shit, completely sold out. They have head covers, putter covers, mallet covers, and they even have a cover for an alignment stick. Everything's sold out. The balls are sold out. The head covers, everything is sold out. So now I don't know. I mean, it launched a couple days ago. They had it on their X page. And I went there the same day and gone. Everything gone. So I don't know. So good luck getting your hands on it. If you can get your hands on it, maybe put it on eBay because they're fucking sold out. But who knows when TaylorMade will restock, but be on the lookout for the baseball collection. Now, I refuse to spend $50, $60 or more for golf balls because I just fucking spray them all over the course. So I just buy used golf balls. There's a guy who sells used golf balls. He goes to, I don't know what kind of hookup he has, but whatever he's got, the balls look brand new. He gets the balls from local courses, cleans them up and resells them like 100 in a giant 5-gallon bucket, sometimes even more than 100. And they're like $20, $15. That's all I need. So when others lose these TaylorMade Baseball collection balls, I'll pick them up on the course and re-hit them after they've been hit a few times. I refuse to pay like $60 for 12 fucking balls. But the head covers and mallet covers were nice. So, yeah. So there you go. TaylorMade. If you can find it, good luck. But we'll keep you up to date throughout the weekend here as we're back tomorrow and Sunday. We'll give you round 3 moving day coverage from both these tournaments, ISCO Championship in Louisville, and then the Genesis Scottish Open with no Scottie Scheffler on the weekend. So, all right, we went through the baseball, got you the golf updates from both tournaments, and now it's time to officially launch something new here on Off the Hook Sports. So our golf has Tee to Green, which we do Wednesdays. And occasionally we have Evan Grube from Grube Golf and Woodstone Country Club come on, which we're trying to do something in the near future with him again. And so now football is getting their own little segment, so to speak. So this is the debut of Off the Hook Sports 4th and Goal. This will be a more in-depth analysis, news, NFL, college football, betting market, all that good stuff. So the normal daily live shows, we'll give you the overview of NFL and college football once the season gets rolling. The bigger games, the Thursday night games, Sunday night games, Thanksgiving games, Monday night games, all that. Same with college football, the big matchups on Saturday. Get on the regular Off the Hook shows. But where this deep dive show, 4th and Goal, is going to live, this is we're going to do more extensive breakdowns, of even like look at college football. If we want to talk fucking MAC tournament conference, there'll be a breakdown there. Mountain West Conference. So this is going to be more in-depth NFL and college football, win totals, division futures, conference futures, team-by-team previews, coaching changes, quarterback changes, looking at the schedule, playoff prediction, player props, futures. So once the season begins, the detailed analysis throughout the week will live here. And then how it's going to fit on the channel, we're still going to have the same stuff from us every day, or at least 4 or 5 days a week, what we're doing now. So just like Tee to Green has the dedicated golf show on Wednesdays, this 4th and Goal will have its own place on the channel. On our YouTube page, it'll have its own 4th and Goal playlist. So it'll be separate from the show vault where you find the daily live streams. So if you want the deeper football content, if we break down different conferences, that's where you're going to find that. If you want the major games, the Monday night games, Thursday night games, all that, those you'll still get on the daily shows here. But because there's a lot with football, especially college football, we just want to do something where it fits. We can do a whole hour show on just football and not hit other stuff, right? Because as soon as baseball's over, then we got NBA and hockey and college basketball starting up. So that'll be the focus of more in-depth football analysis, betting market reactions, news, conference breakdowns, all that good stuff will live in 4th and Goal. So with that being said, this is a debut edition tonight of 4th and Goal, and we're going to start in the NFC West, just because that's where the defending Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks live. And this may be the strongest division in football after we go through this, especially with the Rams and the moves that they made in the offseason, which we'll get to. 49ers, are they still a championship team? Are they on the outside looking in? And then the woeful Arizona Cardinals, stellar dwellers, which most likely will happen again this year. But let's officially launch 4th and Goal, and we'll get through the NFC West preview. And then we have 8 weeks. So there's 8 conferences in NFL, and we will do a college football preview show. So that'll be posted on our X page at OTH Sports Pod. We'll let you know when that is. That'll just be a straight college football show. But for NFL, we got 8 weeks. That'll take us to the Friday before the NFL season starts. So each Friday, we will do a conference and a preview, who we like, any picks, props, win total projections, all that stuff will be each Friday. And starting tonight with the NFC West, defending champion Seattle Seahawks, and the rest of that division. So that's how we're going to roll it. And then, like I said, when the season starts for college and NFL, this will be more in-depth analysis of games and things like that on a 4th and goal. So NFC West, looking at the overview last year, if you rewind, if you can remember that far back, Seattle was 14-3, Rams were 12-5, Niners were also 12-5. We'll get to the fucking Cardinals, and they can't even match that. But so 38 combined regular season wins from the top 3 teams. And this division has produced 2 of the last 5 Super Bowl champions. San Francisco lost a Super Bowl, right, in overtime during that span as well. So, look, if you look at ESPN and their power index, everybody's got power ratings and power index, and they all score it differently and what they look at, right? But if you look at ESPN, has the Rams first, all right, Seattle 4th, San Francisco 5th. That's throughout the league, okay? So it really depends on the rankings vary. Again, some measure different things and they weight things higher than others. But again, you're going to find these teams most likely top 5, top 10 at the bare minimum, depending on who's ranking them, right? So if you look at the projected win total, market has Seattle, the Rams, San Francisco all sitting with a win total around 10.5, right? Arizona, 4.5. Projected standings have Seattle at 11.1 wins, Rams 10.7, San Francisco 10.2, and Arizona 4.7. So if you look at some of these projection markets and right, so 3 playoff caliber teams and 1 team that's essentially fighting for the top pick in the NFL draft next year. That's really, that's really what you're looking at here. And like you said, these top 3 teams combined for 38 wins last season. So let's start at the bottom and work our way up here. Arizona Cardinals, 3-14 last season, just fucking abysmal. They finished the year on a 9-game losing streak. They were 0-6 inside the division. And now they enter this season with the toughest projected schedule in the NFL. So there is some bright side if you're a Cardinals fan. Mike LaFleur takes over his first season as head coach. He was, if you don't remember, the last 3 seasons, he was on Sean McVay's staff with the Rams as the offensive coordinator. And then before that, he worked under Kyle Shanahan. So he comes out of the coaching tree that everybody wants, right? But again, it's not an easy first job here. This is one of the least attractive rosters in all the NFL when you look at it. Look, the quarterback situation, we'll start there, is a fucking mess. They finally dumped Kyler Murray, but they're moving on to, here's what they got to choose from. Jacoby Brissett, who's been serviceable in the teams he's gone to and played for. But is he the answer? Definitely not. But he's serviceable? Sure. Gardner Minshew, good luck. And rookie Carson Beck. And Jacoby Brissett started for the Cardinals after Murray went down last season, and he finished 1-11 as a starter. But his individual numbers weren't that bad. More than 3,300 passing yards, 23 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Problem is, Jacoby Brissett is 33 years old, and he's not the long-term answer. And then you got Gardner Minshew as the backup. Carson Beck, the third round draft pick out of Miami. Now, obviously, he's not ready to step in day one and lead this team, although does it really matter? They only won 3 fucking games last year. So it's really, there's not a quarterback controversy with the Cardinals. It's who the fuck is going to get them through the season and be serviceable. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a quarterback carousel. There's no answer. It's just going to be, if Brissett gets hurt, then Minshew comes in. If he gets hurt, right, they're just going to be like a revolving door of quarterbacks. Now, the biggest reason to watch the Cardinals would obviously be rookie running back Jeremiah Love. So he was a third overall pick in last year's draft. The thing is, though, you take a running back that high behind a below average offensive line, you kind of scratch your head, right? Like, the fuck. Obviously, he's projected to be the starter. He's obviously an elite talent. I don't know. If Love stays healthy, it said he clears 1,000 rushing yards for them. But again, a weak offensive line. They probably would have been better off drafting a lineman or another receiver to pair with Marvin Harrison Jr. But, at least it gives them another playmaker, potentially, out of the backfield. On the defensive side of the ball for the Cardinals, their fucking defense was brutal. During that 9-game losing streak, they gave up 35.2 points a game during that stretch. Worst in the fucking league. They do have talent, though. Josh Sweat had 12 sacks. Bubba Baker had 120 tackles. Denzel Burke, 3 interceptions. But they also ranked 29th in points allowed, 27th in total yards allowed, 28th in sacks. Look, that's not going to get it done in this division with Stafford, Purdy, and Darnold, and the defending champs up there in Seattle. So they also have a schedule problem, the hardest in the league. Their first 13 games are fucking ugly. Ugly. It's brutal. If you look at their schedule, the only games Arizona can realistically circle as likely wins come late in the year against the Jets and the Raiders. So they're going to be projected to be the dogs in pretty much every game, and they could really go 0-6 in this division again. So it's not unlikely. The numbers hung somewhere around 4.5 wins for them. The price is expensive with a lot of juice, somewhere around -190 because they're so bad. Look, they were a 3-win team last year, which is why you're getting a heavy juice on that number. The quarterback situation is a mess. Defense is one of the worst in football. The toughest schedule. They're 500 to 1 to win the Super Bowl. Hey, good luck. 200 to 1 to win the NFC. 100 to 1 to win the NFC West. And that's not fucking value. That's just you're donating to the books at that point. God, if anything's screaming, it's a heavy juice number though. At -190, I wouldn't even touch it, to be honest with you. It's too much. And look at some trends here with the Cardinals. Seattle's 8-1 against the spread in the last 9 against Arizona. Rams are 10-1 against the spread last 11 trips to Arizona. Seattle has covered 4 straight at home against the Cardinals. And the over is 7-2 in the last 9 Arizona-San Francisco matchups. So until the Cardinals really prove otherwise, this team is going to be at the bottom yet again. And pretty much the rest of the division just expects to just beat the shit out of them every time they play. I expect them to be last again. There's no question there, unless one of these other teams has a bunch of injuries or something crazy happens. But you can expect the Cardinals to be last yet again and looking for a number 1 draft pick or a top 3 draft pick again. The only question is, can they get to 5 wins and get over that 4.5 number? I highly doubt it. Highly doubt it. Next up, 49ers. Now, this is where we start talking about real teams. So forget about the Cardinals. We probably spend too much time talking about the Cardinals, but they're fucking terrible. 49ers 12-5 last season, 13-6 if you include the playoffs. Only 7 starters, though, remain from that team that lost the Super Bowl 58 in overtime. A lot of people thought the championship window was closed. I wouldn't say it's closed, but it's not wide open either, right? Definitely pressure on Kyle Shanahan. This is his 10th season out in San Francisco. Now, still has respect, still regarded as one of the smartest and best offensive minds in football. The reputation is deserved, but at some point he's got to get it done. And the postseason history, I mean, it's hard to ignore that, right? I mean, 3 blown Super Bowl leads, including, let's not forget, the Pats Falcons debacle where he shit the bed as the offensive coordinator in Atlanta. He also lost an NFC title game with a questionable late game decision there. So, look, at some point, the conversation needs to become about how brilliant the scheme is, and more, I guess, more about whether he can actually finish the job or not. When you look at it, smart mind, but seems to come up short. And then, obviously, the offense running through Christian McCaffrey. Now, there's questions there. Health is always a question with McCaffrey. He also turned 30. Running backs have a shelf life of like 3 to 5 years. So there's significant wear on tires with Christian McCaffrey. He only played 4 games in 2024. He did play all 17 games last year, and he did win Comeback Player of the Year. 311 carries, over 1,200 rushing yards, 10 rushing touchdowns, 924 receiving yards for Christian McCaffrey, 102 catches, 7 receiving touchdowns, 2,126 yards from scrimmage. That's the second most in the league behind Bijan Robinson. So look, the question here, as we said with McCaffrey, is if he's going to be healthy or not. If he's healthy, they're a completely different team. If he's in and out of games on a weekly basis, then this whole entire operation is going to fall apart and may cost Shanahan his job. Because I don't know how much patience the 49ers front office has with Shanahan. So he's been there 10 years, and he's come up short. So, and then let's look at the receiving core and Brock Purdy. So, Purdy only played 9 games last season. But in those 9 games when he played, he was effective. Completed 69.4% of his passes through 20 touchdowns. Mac Jones still the backup. A big addition, obviously, Mike Evans. Huge, as a huge upgrade for them. A big 6'5" wideout. I mean, he's a future Hall of Famer, 6-time Pro Bowler, 11 straight 1,000-yard seasons. A season, 11 straight 1,000-yard season receiving before last year the streak ended with a bunch of injuries. So, look, now Purdy has a red zone target that he needed. And then there's George Kittle, but again, he's been hurt of late. And then Ricky Pearsall, Christian Kirk. We already talked about Christian McCaffrey in the backfield. They brought Trent Williams back. So the skill set's good enough. But what they lost, is some weapons from the receiving standpoint. So obviously, Deebo Samuel gone. Juwan Jennings gone. Brandon Ayuk. Is he going to play in NFL? Or what? I don't know what the fuck's going on with Brandon Ayuk, but are we going to even see him on the field for anybody this year? So, but again, bringing Mike Evans in, if he's healthy from his injuries last year, that's a pretty damn good replacement. So, but you're bringing in one guy to replace like 3 guys. And then you move to the defensive side of the ball at the 49ers. It's not that big monster defense they had in their Super Bowl run. They ranked 13th in points allowed last season, 20th in total defense, and dead last in sacks last year. I mean, this whole thing was built around Nick Bosa, which those numbers are just alarming. So 3 key starters from that Super Bowl defense remain: Bosa, Dre Greenlaw, Fred Warner, Bob Saleh. He left. He's gone now to the Titans. So we'll see how that changes things with Raheem Morris taking over after he was canned in Atlanta. I think Bob Saleh is a smart coach, and I hope that he learned from his mistakes in New York. And because I think he is a smart coach. I think he'll do well with the Titans. I don't like Raheem Morris as a defensive coordinator. You're definitely losing a step between Bob Saleh and Raheem Morris. But the talent's there. Can they stay healthy? But again, this isn't that championship defense anymore. Good, but not what we saw in that championship, in that Super Bowl run. And if you look at Christian McCaffrey, if we're measuring up to the Seahawks, right? I mean, Seattle exposed them. So in the divisional round, they beat up on San Francisco 41-6. McCaffrey had 35 rushing yards and 11 carries. They just couldn't run the ball against Seattle or Los Angeles for that matter. So with that being said, if you got to go through those two teams, you're gonna have an uphill battle. Projected win total somewhere around 9.5. DraftKings had the over 9.5 at around minus 145. Over 10.5 plus 125. I mean, really, it's pay a little bit of juice and take the lower number, if you ask me. Their schedule ranks 18th in difficulty amongst the rest of the league. And after the opening game in Australia, which is these games that are fucking outside of the U.S., they just keep getting further and further. I mean, for fuck's sake, Australia. So play the Rams in Australia. Then San Francisco comes home for 3 straight against Miami, Arizona, Denver. So you can get some early momentum. The Rams game, probably a loss. They should beat Miami, should beat Arizona. And then you get Denver. So I'd say at worst, they should be 2-2. Right? You should beat Miami, Arizona. Say you lose to Denver and the Rams. Worst case, the 49ers after week 4 should be 2-2. Worst case. But it still puts them in the hunt. Futures for them, looking at some of these futures out there. So they're around 19-1 to win the Super Bowl, plus 950 to win the NFC, plus 300 to win the division. The division number is kind of interesting because you're getting a third choice in a 3-team race, essentially. So plus 300 to win the division. It's not bad. If you look at some trends amongst with the 49ers here, so underdogs are 12-3 against the spread in Rams 49ers matchup since 2019. The under is 10-4 in Seattle San Francisco games played in San Francisco since 2012. Rams won 3 straight outright against the spread in San Francisco. Kansas City 8-0-1 against the spread, the last 9 against the 49ers. So those are just some matchup trends or specific matchup trends. Kind of remember once we get into the season, and we'll kind of go through these once the season kicks off, some of these teams and some of these trends probably be part of Tommy trend of the day, right? There's so many trends with football and matchups and how you break it down. But I mean, again, 49ers, I think they're a playoff team. Yeah. Double-digit wins, most likely. The 9.5 seems like a good number. Like I said, it's still juiced. But again, to me, the smart play would be take the lower number, buy the juice, I guess. I still think they're the third best team in this division. Now, again, injuries could change this from either side. Either the Rams, Seattle has injuries, or the 49ers. But offense has enough. It did enough to replace Debo and Brandon Ayuk with bringing in Mike Evans. Defense is going to be the question. Like I said, I think it's a downgrade. Losing Saleh and bringing in Raheem Morris. I mean, there was worse options than Raheem Morris, right? But compared to Saleh, I think it's a step back. But the talent's still there. So, and again, we said everything runs through Christian McCaffrey in that offense, and if he's healthy or not. Let's move to Southern California and take a look at the Rams. I mean, look, this Rams team thought making moves. I mean, they're one play away from winning the NFC last season. Lost 31-27 to Seahawks in the NFC Championship game. And then earlier in the season, they lost 38-37 in overtime in Seattle. Stafford came up one place short both games. And now they reloaded for another one. Draft pick, the quarterback draft pick was questionable, but they're not sleepers anymore after the moves they made. They were around 30-1 after the previous draft to win the Super Bowl. And now the consensus is Super Bowl favorite, whether you look at a public book like DraftKings or FanDuel, or you look at a sharp book, say like Circa. So plus 550 at DraftKings, and then plus 520 at Circa, somewhere around there. Every other contender was 10-1 or higher. So this is really telling you how strong the market values this team, the roster moves that they've made. Look, Stafford was your league MVP last season at age 38. I mean, he's still putting up sick numbers. Over 4,700 passing yards, 46 touchdowns. That led the league. Rams led the NFL in scoring at 30.5 points a game. First total offense, first in yards per play, first in passing yards. I mean, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams combined for 24 touchdown catches. Offense was fucking crazy to watch. You know they can score. And Sean McVay at the helm. I mean, what a hell of a coach. Like him, hate him, he's a hell of a coach. You know, can Stafford at age 38 put up those same numbers? Wouldn't see why not. You know, threw 20 touchdowns in 2024, 24 in 2023. And he doubled that pretty much last year at 46. So there is, I mean, history would say there's going to be regression, but I still think he gets over 30 touchdowns. And that regression doesn't mean he's going to shit the bed and be fucking terrible. So, you know, do I think he's going to get 46 touchdowns again this year? No. 30, 35? Sure. But again, at 30, 35 touchdowns, he still could be one of the tops in the league, at least tops in the NFC. Now, we talked about a little bit draft decision with drafting Ty Simpson. Don't agree with that whatsoever. But that's why I'm sitting here and not in some fucking office at SoFi. But I don't like the Ty Simpson move. I just thought there were better choices there. They didn't add a big play wide receiver. They did get Ohio State tight end Max Clare in the second round. So to me, I think the Ty Simpson isn't going to pan out the way they think it will as far as a future quarterback. But, you know, he did add another target in the middle of the field with Max Clare in the second round. The Ty Simpson pick, I feel like it was a wasted pick. But then, you know, the offseason moves, I mean, Myles Garrett, that was huge. Now, they did send 3 premium picks, including a 2027 first rounder and Jared Verse to Cleveland. But, I mean, come on. Myles Garrett, 7-time Pro Bowler, single-season sack record with 23 last year, Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, it's still Myles Garrett. He's still got enough left in the tank. I mean, the Rams are making a full-on push to win this thing at home because Super Bowl 61 will be at SoFi Stadium. So the Bucs team with Brady a few years back, that was the only team, the home team, to win the Super Bowl at their home stadium. So could the Rams do it at Super Bowl 61 at SoFi? They sure as hell are making a push for it with the moves they made. And then there's this talk. I don't buy this whole Aaron Donald shit. If he's going to come back, and apparently they say he's intrigued to come back and play next to Myles Garrett. There's talk he's going to play home games only. I don't know. He's still in good shape, but I don't know. What do you get with Aaron Donald? If he was play home, I don't know. It would be interesting to see if he could do it. But I'm not banking on Aaron Donald. But again, Myles Garrett's enough. And then you get Kobe Turner, Braden Fisk, Poona Ford, Byron Young. The front's loaded. So They did make some moves in the secondary. I mean, that was a big weakness for them last year. Darnold threw for 346 yards, 3 touchdowns in the NFC title game against the Rams. So what'd they do? They signed former Chiefs corner Jalen Watson. Then they traded first-round pick to Kansas City for All-Pro Trent McDuffie. So they did go out and make moves where they needed to. Not so much on offense, but they did improve the defense. So they looked at their deficiencies and definitely went out and attacked it and are making a run at this thing. One more year at Stafford to give it a go. So they do have a difficult schedule. It's the 5th toughest in the league. Again, opening with San Francisco and Australia. A late bye week 11, that could come into play. And then their final 7 games are fucking brutal. Green Bay, Kansas City, San Francisco, Dallas, Tampa Bay, and Seattle twice in weeks 16 and 18. I mean, that's like a playoff schedule before the playoffs even begin. So win total, books have it around 11.5 for win total. McVay reached the playoffs 7 of 9 seasons. They won 12 games last year. I don't know. It's really this may be the best roster that McVay has had. Even if you get the regression from Stafford this year, which it does point to a regression in his numbers, but it shouldn't be that much of a drop off. So, are you betting over the highest win total in football with that 5th toughest schedule? I have a lot of margin for error with that schedule. Now, some futures Rams are sitting around plus 550, like we said, for Super Bowl. Win the NFC plus 300. NFC West is pretty much even money there. So markets, fully priced in on this hype with the Rams and Rams reloading and trying to make another run at this thing. So, look, you're not going to sit there and say, well, are the Rams good? Or clearly, they're a fucking good team. It's just because there's still betting value with them, right? So, some trends with them. They're 12-3 against the spread when they play the 49ers. So in that series, they're 12-3 against the spread with the Niners since 2019. 10-1 against the spread in the first and their last 11 trips to Arizona. I mean, the Cards are just like the fucking stomping ground of the division. Arizona is just terrible. Green Bay 11-0 against the spread against the Rams since 2007. Kansas City 7-0-1 against the spread against the Rams. And the Rams are 6-1 against the spread last 7 trips to Seattle, even though they lost the NFC Championship game there. Again, 6-1 against the spread last 7 trips to Seattle. So, hey, I guess at least if you're a Rams fan and lose that NFC Championship game, but they covered the spread, right? Trying to find an upside, right? But so at least they could cover if you're betting the spread. So look, everybody thinks the betting market's adjusted and thinks this is probably the most complete roster in the league. MVP quarterback in Stafford. I mean, Sean McVay is probably the best coach in the NFL, one of the brightest football minds. You're the best defensive player in the league, Myles Garrett. You made major upgrades in your secondary. Deservedly so. They're the favorite. But again, now they're no longer a surprise or a secret, right? And once everybody agrees on the team, it's just, has the price gone too far? All right, but now also, it's like we said, they're not a secret anymore. So everybody's going to be coming out and going after them every week. And with that 5th toughest schedule in the league, they're going to get tested every week. So little room for error there. So that leaves us with defending champions, Seattle Seahawks. They went 14-3 last year, 17-3 if you count the playoffs. Again, Mike McDonald winning the Super Bowl, age 38. And through 2 seasons, he's 27-10, including the postseason. So I'd say he's no longer a young coach having a nice start. That's, he's already one of the elite coaches in the league, and he's proven himself for sure. Now we said Seahawks beat the Rams. I mean, these were two great games. 38-37 win in overtime in week 16. And then you get the NFC Championship game, 31-27. And then this defense just absolutely suffocated the Patriots in the Super Bowl. It wasn't even close. It was so bad. It was fucking brutal. But even though the market is all over the Rams, look, Seattle still owns this division until somebody comes in and takes it from them. Now we'll go over here as far as some roster moves and whatnot, but obviously the biggest question is still Sam Darnold. Played fucking horrible, if you ask me, in the Super Bowl. Compared to how he played, the Sam Darnold in the Super Bowl was like the Sam Darnold we saw with the fucking Jets. So, but since coming to Seattle, I mean, he's turned his career around. You typically go to the Jets, your career is fucking dead. But Sam Darnold has resurrected his career in Seattle. And before the last two seasons, Darnold was 21-35 as an NFL starter. And he was 14-3 in Minnesota, and then 14-3 with the Seahawks last year. So, he won 28 regular season games in 2 years. But the biggest question with Sam Darnold is the turnovers, right? We saw it all season with Darnold last year. He had 25 touchdowns, but he also had 20 turnovers, 14 interceptions, and 6 fumbles. So he's working now with his 5th offensive coordinator in 5 seasons. But Clint Kubiak, so him leaving to go to the Raiders, how's that going to impact Darnold here? I think Sam Darnold is still a hell of a quarterback. But I think Clint Kubiak leaving, that might be some regression in sight for Darnold. Now, Brian Flores takes over. He was the 49ers run game coordinator and tight ends coach. It's still not a Clint Kubiak, in my opinion. So, how's Darnold? I mean, how's he going to fare with a new coordinator? I'm sure he'll be fine. I just, obviously Clint Kubiak, I like him a hell of a lot better to run this thing back with Clint Kubiak, I can tell you that. Super Bowl, we said Darnold was terrible. 19 completions and 38 attempts Super Bowl, 202 yards, 1 touchdown. Now, he did only take 1 sack, I guess, if you want to look at a bright side. He didn't turn the ball over. But, I mean, he did enough, right? Only took 1 sack and turned the ball over. That was enough to get it done because the defense just smothered the fucking Patriots and put them in a position to win the game. Big loss, obviously, Kenneth Walker. So as your Super Bowl MVP. If you can't remember back that far, at 135, it ran for 135 yards in the Super Bowl. Now he signed with Kansas City. So that's a big loss for the Seahawks. But Jadarian Price, Seahawks used their last pick in the first round on Jadarian Price out of Notre Dame. So he should make an immediate impact, should play immediately, I would think. Split carries with Charbonnet, I guess, is how they're going to look at it. But Price should come in and make an impact. And then you have Jackson Smith and Jigba. I mean, they locked him up 4 years, $168 million. He led the league with just shy of 1,800 yards receiving, 1,793, 10 touchdowns. And now he is one of the highest paid receivers in all the league. And he's going to be pretty much center of the passing game with Darnold there. Rashid Shaheed also came back, Derek Hall, and Devin Witherspoon. So they're all there. So other losses besides Walker, Kobe Bryant, corner Rick Woolen, and but again, the biggest loss is Walker. So can the depth chart absorb it here? I don't know. Look, the team is still built around Mike McDonald's defense. They ranked first in scoring defense at 17.2 points a game, first in third down defense, first in yards per rush, second in yards per play, third against the run. And look, a top 10 in sacks and takeaways. The defense is led by Ernest Jones, DeMarcus Lawrence, Drake Thomas, Leonard Williams. Look, Mike McDonald is just, from a defensive standpoint, people are already comparing him to Bill Belichick as a defensive mind. And again, like or hate Belichick, you can't deny what he did there. Probably ruined his fucking coaching career going to North Carolina, but that's a story for another time. But, and look, after what the Seattle defense did to Drake May and the Patriots in the Super Bowl, I mean, they should be doing the same thing again this year. Over 10.5 wins, that seems to be the number, is sitting somewhere around minus 115. I mean, if you look at their schedule, they're projected to be favorite in 14 of their games. The only games, if you look at it, that they're projected to be a dog are going to be road games against the Rams, 49ers, and the Eagles. Other than that, they're expected to be favored. Now, when I say they're going to be road dogs, it's not going to be a large number as a dog there on the road. They won 14 games last year. Did they lose a couple of people? Yeah. But to me, I think the biggest loss is Clint Kubiak, if you ask me. Kenneth Walker, okay. Well, Jadarian Price should be okay. Step in, split carries, right? Jackson Smith and Jigba is going to do his thing. I feel like, okay, they lost a player. They made moves, right? They filled the holes. The offensive coordinator, to me, that's going to be the biggest thing, because the defense is going to be just as capable. I don't see a regression there from a defensive side on the Seahawks. So future bets, if you're betting any futures, right now, around 11-1, the repeat is Super Bowl champion, about plus 600 to win the NFC and plus 200 to win the NFC West. Now, considering they are the defending champion, the market, though, has the Rams ahead of them. But that plus 200 division price is pretty interesting. I mean, rightfully so. I mean, look, even though the Seahawks are the defending champion, my pick to win the division is the Rams. I'm not going to lie. I think that's what you're going to get. The Rams and Seahawks are just going to battle it out, if you ask me. But if the Rams stay healthy, I think they win the division. I mean, but Seattle is going to be right there. Seahawks 8-1 against the spread against Arizona, covered 5 straight against Dallas. They're 9-2 against the spread against Philadelphia. The under is 10-4 in Seattle 49ers games played in San Francisco since 2012. And the underdogs have covered 4 straight Seahawks Rams games in Los Angeles. So, look, the real debate for the Seahawks comes down to this. Do you trust the Rams' star power and then to stay healthy? Or do you trust the Seattle defense, like McDonald's coaching, the new offensive coordinator, and this championship identity now that this team has? Market's telling you Los Angeles. Trophy says Seattle. Look, here's my picks for what it's worth. Obviously, 4th place is a no-brainer, the Cardinals. I don't even think they get the 5 wins. I think the 4.5 number is stretching it. I don't even think they get the 4. I think 3, where they were last year, is probably it. But I don't think they get over the 4.5, where the market's hanging the number. And they probably, I can see them going 0-6 in the division again. Just said it. It's going to be a battle between the Rams and the Seahawks. So that leaves the 49ers in 3rd. We said their playoff window isn't completely shut, but it's not completely wide open either. Could they still win 10 or 11 games? Yeah, I'd probably say under. I could see them somewhere like maybe 10. But again, then if McCaffrey's hurt, his health is going to be really going to dictate how far this team goes. And even Brock Purdy, right? So that's what I think as far as the 49ers. And then I just said it. I think the Seahawks, I think it's just going to be a battle with them and the Rams. they're just going to be duking it out. When they play each other, when they don't play each other, it's going to be back and forth. And it's really who makes the least mistakes. And I think it's going to be like a 1-game difference. Like one could win 12, one could win 13 games. That's how I see it. Or 11 games, 12 games, something like that. But even though the Seahawks are the defending champs, elite coach, elite defense, I said the biggest thing is the Clint Kubiak. So that's where I expect the regression is on the offensive side. A new offensive coordinator. You lost Kenneth Walker. The loss of Walker, it's big. I think bigger is Clint Kubiak going to the Raiders. That's my 8 cents for what it's worth on the Seahawks. But again, I expect them to be right there. And then I'd say Rams win the division. I mean, look, they're making a run, and it shows with the moves they made with Myles Garrett, Trent McDuffie. Look, if Aaron Darnold comes back to any extent, plays just home games, plays every other game, I don't fucking know. Whatever you can get from Aaron Donald is going to be a bonus. But again, I'm not banking on that as far as saying why they're going to win the division. So I'd say best bets from this division, obviously Cardinals under that 4.5. It might be a stretch when they get to 3 games, 3 wins. San Francisco, I don't know. That 9.5, I don't know if they get there. If they get over 9.5, I think they're 10 wins at best. San Francisco. I think these 3 teams are just going to beat up on each other. Seattle over 10.5. Now, if you trust the defense to carry them, that's reasonable. Because again, my opinion is the offensive side is going to regress a little bit. Rams over 11.5. That's aggressive, but roster's got the talent to win 12 plus games. So, but Rams over 11.5. I can see the Rams winning 12 games. Again, just the strength of schedule is just ridiculously tough. So, looking today as far as betting, I'd say, torn between the Rams at even money, and then you get the Seattle the plus 200. But I don't know, I still like the Rams from a betting market. Just the Seattle plus 200 is interesting. Rams better roster, Seattle better price. But again, it's the regression that I'm worried about. But maybe a couple shekels on Seattle plus 200 might not be a bad move. But outside the betting market, just who I think is going to win the division, it's the Rams, Seahawks, Niners, Cardinals, cellar dwellers. So that wraps it up for this. This is the first edition of Fourth and Goal, the debut edition. So like we said, every Friday between now, so the next 8 Fridays, we'll break down another NFL division. And then once the football season and college season begins, because we're like, 43 days, I think, from college football week 0. So then Fourth and Goal will become the home for deeper NFL and college football analysis, its own dedicated shows, dedicated playlists on our YouTube channel. So we'll look at more win totals, futures, weekly matchups, some of the, some of the lesser, I guess, known or talked about conferences in college football, because there's so many. And, we'll get into a little bit deeper dive there with some of those college teams. And then, of course, just all the weekly stuff with the NFL there, too. Everything, all of it right there. So next week, we'll move on. We already completed the NFC West, gave you our thoughts there. We'll move on from the division with the Super Bowl champion. We'll go to the AFC East and the Super Bowl loser, New England Patriots, and see if they can run it back and get to a Super Bowl this year. That'll be a juicy conversation when we get all the Mike Vrabel offseason shit involved there, which that won't be a whole part of the conversation because I could really care who he's fucking when he's not coaching. Whatever. That's your moral compass, not mine. So that'll wrap up Fourth and Goal. And We'll do it again next week, next Friday. It'll be the AFC East and New England Patriots. And are they going to run it back? Or will the Bills actually fucking do something? That'll be a topic for next week. So we'll go through them next week. But let's see. Before we get to the Bark Bet and the pop up for adoption from Freedom First Rescue, let's see if another Tommy trend can point us in the winning direction for today. So we'll get to the Tommy trend of the day. And look, we joke here the Mets meltdown and all the jokes about the Mets, but the Mets actually won 2 games in a row. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Congratulations. Hang the banner. Print the playoff tickets. Plan the parade route. Whatever. Mets are on a 2-game winning streak. But, I don't know. Today's trend that I have for you, it seems like that celebration could be short-lived. So we're going to the Red Sox-Mets matchup for tonight. And this trend is revolving around Sox starter Sonny Gray. So when Sonny Gray starts as a road dog between plus 105 and plus 115, his teams are 12-2 over the past 6 seasons. If you calculate that into units, it's a profit of more than 11 units. So 12 wins and just 2 losses as a road dog between plus 105 and plus 115. So pretty much when the market is doubting Sonny Gray in a specific spot the last 6 seasons, he's pretty much saying, yeah, fuck you, I'm going to make you pay for it. So, all right, let's connect the dots here. The Red Sox are somewhere plus 114, plus 115. Again, depends on what book you're using. So the trend here is a perfect matchup. So, they're facing this Mets team that somehow won 2 straight. But again, they were playing the Royals, so it doesn't really matter. It doesn't count. So, look, they're not the fucking 86 Mets because they won 2 games here. I mean, we spent the last few weeks. This is some fucking bad news Bears team, the bullpen issues, the offensive droughts, the, alleged feuding between Lindor and Soto. I mean, all this Mickey Mouse fucking shit in this clubhouse. Manager getting fired. The owner's fucking keeping his mouth shut, barely saying anything. A GM who looks incompetent and unfit for that job. They just can't put anything together. No sustained momentum. So until they prove otherwise, this 2-game win streak, I'm not saying the Mets are cured and they're going to run off like 10 straight here just because they managed to win a couple games against the woeful fucking Royals. So the Tommy trend today is pretty simple. Like we said, Sonny Gray's teams are 12-2 in this spot. Red Sox are live as a road dog. That's our trend match play. Red Sox plus 114 money line. And if you're a Mets fan, don't worry. If they win 3 in a row, maybe we'll retire the Mets meltdown segment or fade the Mets. Maybe. I doubt it. But that's Tommy trend of the day. And be the Red Sox a money line. And the trend is Sonny Gray teams 12-2 as a road dog when they're getting plus money at plus 105 to plus 115. And that's over the last 6 seasons. So, all right. So we got you the trend. We got you the play to match the trend. But now it's time for my absolute favorite segment that we do every week here on Off the Hook. And it's presented by Freedom First Rescue. So every week we feature a pup up for adoption looking for a forever home from Freedom First Rescue. And this week's pup that we are backing here on Bark Bets is Addie. Addie is the pup we're backing on Bark Bets this week. And listen, if there was ever a comeback story worth rooting for, it's definitely this one. Addie is an 11-year-old lab mix who dealt with a pretty tough hand. And she ended up in a shelter as a stray. But anybody who spent 5 minutes around her can tell this isn't a dog that spent her life wandering the streets. She's a veteran, a seasoned pro, and a dog that knows what it's like to be part of a family. Somewhere along the way, though, her team gave up on her, but Addie hasn't quit. Not even close. She's still showing up every day with the same effort, same heart, same positive attitude. Great with people, great with other dogs, house trained, and she still acts like she's ready for the next game on the schedule. When she arrived at the shelter, doctors found a mass on her leg. It was removed and identified as a low-grade mast cell tumor. The good news, the cancer hasn't spread. The challenge, though, they didn't get all of it. So Addie will continue working with the veterinary team and figure out what the next step in her game plan is. But if there's one thing that she's proven already, it's that she's tough. And she's battled through the adversity. She's taken some hits, and she'll still stay in the fight. At 11 years old, Addie isn't looking for a championship parade. She's looking for a home, a couch, a family, and somebody willing to sign her to a lifetime contract. Because senior dogs care about stats. They don't care about records. They care about trophies. They just want a team. And Addie is still waiting for hers. So this week, we're back in Addie. And if you're interested in learning more about Addie, head over to freedomfirstrescue.com. You can learn more about her and see all the amazing dogs they currently have up for adoption, looking for forever homes there. You can even fill out an adoption application right on their website. It's freedomfirstrescue.com. And don't forget, check out their Facebook page, facebook.com/freedomfirstrescue. You'll find a bunch of upcoming community events, pup meet and greets, volunteer opportunities, foster opportunities, fundraising events, and all the latest updates from the rescue. So whether you're looking to adopt, foster, volunteer, donate, or simply just support a great organization, Freedom First Rescue is making a difference, one dog at a time. Again, freedomfirstrescue.com, facebook.com/freedomfirstrescue. And remember, adopt, don't shop. All right, so now let's get you to the bet that we're barking the loudest about this week here on Bark Bet. So after we told you about Addie and hopefully get her forever home sooner than later, we're going to give you the bet that we're barking the loudest about this week. So we're going to head to the UFC tomorrow night. Conor McGregor returns to the octagon for the first time in 5 years. Let that sink in. First time in 5 years since his last fight. 6 years since his last win. Now, standing across from him is a completely different Max Holloway than the one that McGregor beat all the way back in 2013. So, before we give you the in-depth analysis of our Bark Bet pick, let's take a look. Now, and one thing you're going to get with this, whether he wins or loses tomorrow, you're going to get entertainment. You got entertainment the other day for Media Day, and we got a couple of clips here of Conor McGregor not losing a step after being gone for 5 years. So these are some clips here of McGregor on Media Day for the UFC fight tomorrow. So here we go. This is his the Conor strut as he walks into the press conference the other day. Look at that swag. Hey, he hasn't lost a step. Hey. You know, the guy closest to McGregor would be, I'd say, probably Sean Strickland. But like I said, nonetheless, whether he wins or loses, we're going to get entertainment for sure. The next clip, a couple clips here of he was asked some questions by reporters here. So this is a reporter asking McGregor a question the other day.
Conor, what do you make of Max offering you a rematch?
And, well, hold on. We could probably fix the fucking audio, because that would probably help. All right. Take two, Conor McGregor, UFC 329 press conference.
Conor, what do you make of Max offering you a rematch in December after he says he knocked you out on Saturday?
I find it disrespectful. I find it shows he is here for the economics of it. He must not realize the danger he is in. I forecast Holloway's retirement on Saturday night, not a trilogy for cash.
And Max, what is your prediction for how you finish Conor on Saturday night?
I hope he knows how to swim. I'm drowning his ass.
Not a chance do you stand. Not one chance do you stand.
Keep telling yourself that, brother.
Not one chance.
Keep telling yourself. We get to find out Saturday night, so that's the beautiful thing.
All right, so another clip here from McGregor. These just keep getting better.
I feel your way to victory is to win within 5 to 7 minutes.
Excuse me?
Tell me I've got the wrong assumption. I feel your way to win is within 5 to 7 minutes.
I can destroy Max inside 10 seconds. I have knockouts inside 3 seconds on my fighting record. I have Hall of Fame fighters, multiples, Hall of Fame UFC fighters, defeated and destroyed, both together in under a minute. And I can add Max to that. However, don't get it twisted. If we go into these deep waters, Max is going to be in a lot of trouble, badly concussed.
What happened the first time? What happened the first time?
What happened the first time?
Yeah.
You were left in a wheelchair.
Shot. You shot
That's what
4
happened
times.
the first time.
Shot. You shot.
Once you go back,
first
you
time.
don't go back.
You said fights don't even count if you don't knock people
You
out.
left the arena in Boston.
We are
Wheelchair
0-0
bound.
We are 0-0.
I wheelchair the bum ass out of that octagon.
We are 0-0 to your line, brother.
I just hope this press conference isn't better than the fight. So, this is the last clip here. McGregor, when they come out to do the face-off, and Dana White had to even intervene here if you didn't see this. Hey.
It's fine. Put that on my face.
Yeah, get him out of there, boy.
We're definitely gonna get a show. Like I said, I hope the press conference isn't going to be better than the fight, and hopefully McGregor. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how the 5 years off and how he fares. Now, when you look at this, everything on paper says Holloway should be the side, right? The volume, the activity, the recent competition, numbers. But here's the problem. It's not a normal fight. It's fucking Conor McGregor. The guy's a fucking lunatic. And nobody, I mean, if you want to handicap this fight, nobody knows what you're going to get from McGregor. It could be really good. It could be really bad, or somewhere in between that. You have no one has any idea. You know what you're getting at the press conference. You knew this was a given, which everybody was waiting for. This is what we missed for 5 years without Conor McGregor. To be honest, the press conferences were always entertaining. So you knew you would get this coming into the fight. But from a fighting standpoint, people have no idea what they're going to get. So handicappers that listen to podcasts and read articles, they don't know how to handicap it because they have nothing to go against. His last win came 6 years ago. He hasn't fought in 5 years. Who knows what you're going to get? So look, we're not trying to handicap this thing because, again, we don't know what we're going to get here with McGregor. I just have a problem fucking betting against McGregor at this standpoint. I just want to see him come out and knock Holloway the fuck out. So currently the money line at 210, 213, 215. Look, if McGregor is all talk and no show and doesn't put his money where his mouth is, we're cooked. We're dead. But if we get someone to the old Conor, if we get like, I don't know, 85, 90% of what we got 5 years ago, he just shows up for just one fight, the McGregor money line is too big to ignore. So look, we know what we got with McGregor in the past and what he has been. We're just, we just don't know where the drop off is, right? So we're taking a chance on what he could be with the 5 years off. And you're looking at better than 2-1 odds here for this fight. Look, that's your bark bet. Conor McGregor, we got it, the money line at plus 213 for our bark bet this week for MMA 329 card tomorrow on Paramount. Should be a good one. Hopefully, like I said, it's better than the press conference, and we'll see if the Notorious has one more big win left in him. It would be his first win in 6 years. So we will see if he gets it done. I sure as hell hope so. I just have a hard time betting against Conor at this point. So That is the Bark Bet. Conor McGregor money line plus 213. And now it's time for the award that absolutely no one here wants. And that is the Clown of the Week. Biggest bonehead, all-time train wreck, blunder, whatever you want to call it for the week. And honestly, if you want to nominate somebody, just hit us up, X or YouTube at OTH Sports Pod, and give us a nomination, because we'll take anybody. Doesn't need to be sports related. I can tell you this week's isn't sports related. It can be anything. Your neighbor, your brother, your sister, your uncle, a corporation, maybe the company you work for. I don't know. I don't care. Throw something at it, and we'll throw it on here. Just give us a reason why. And we'll throw it in the fucking pot. And if it makes sense, that's the Clown of the Week. So send us your nominations for sure. But it's really not hard finding shit. But hey, we like ones that are also not sports related. And like we said, this week's Clown of the Week is not sports related, but is worthy of the Clown of the Week award. And this week's Off the Hook Sports Clown of the Week is none other than communist New York City Mayor Mamdani. And listen to what this dipshit did. Look, he's done something that I didn't think was possible. He just keeps topping himself because everything he fucking does is a train wreck. It makes absolutely zero sense. But this dipshit, he made a map of New York City neighborhoods, and he somehow decides that new map of New York City neighborhoods that he is going to leave out Little Italy. So this dumbass leaves out Little Italy from the new map of New York City neighborhoods. Right? So let's think about that for a second. You left Little Italy off the map. The neighborhood has been part of New York since the 1800s. It's one of the most recognizable cultural landmarks in the entire country. Neighborhood tourists from all over the world visit every year. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one that he left off the fucking map. But don't worry, the new Mamdani map found some room for a little Palestine, a little Yemen, a little Senegal, a little Egypt, and a bunch of others. But a Little Italy apparently got sent to the witness protection program with this dipshit. So it's like, imagine making a map of Philadelphia and you forget South Philly. Or a map of Green Bay and forgetting Lambeau and the Packers. Or making a map of Pittsburgh and no Primanti brothers. That's basically what kind of shit we're dealing with in New York City, amongst all the other bullshit that they have going on there. So look, nobody's saying you can't recognize immigrant communities. Recognize whatever the fuck you want. But, and that's part of what makes a city like New York great. You have all these immigrant communities and people from all over. But look, if you're making a map or an official map that celebrates the city's cultural neighborhoods, and you leave off one of the most iconic neighborhoods in American history, then you deserve to get fucking roasted. And not just here, you deserve to get roasted by every other fucking program. So, forgetting that Little Italy exists, it's just mind-blowing that you could even do that. You just turned one of the most famous neighborhoods in New York into a missing persons case. And you're earning headlines for all the wrong reasons, Mayor Mamdani, you communist prick. So you are now officially the Off the Hook Sports Clown of the Week. Somebody needs to get this guy a GPS and a history book. For fuck's sake. Oh my God, what an idiot. So from one clown to another, we'll just keep on keeping on with the clown segments. We didn't do Off the Rails yesterday, so we said we'd do it today. So before we get on out of here, we'll get you another edition of Off the Rails, and this is the segment. We try to do rapid fire as best we can, but some of the clips are like a minute or two, and they're worthy of keeping on there. So it's a rapid fire, so to speak. of all the internet chaos, so sporting world, the internet, gambling, Twitter, all this chaos completely colliding together. And that brings us a segment every week called Off the Rails. So that's basically where we start. And it's just like you put it all in a fucking blender, and this is what you get. Off the Hook goes off the rails. Now, sometimes it's hilarious. Sometimes it's really fucking insane. And sometimes you get a wholesome part of the segment on here, which the wholesome part is like 99.9% dogs. So sometimes, though, the story is so fucking ridiculous that if it wasn't on video, nobody would believe it. So buckle up, because Off the Hook is now going off the rails here before we get on out of here. So let's take a look here and see what the internet has cooked up or off the rails here. Oh, yeah, here we go. This will start us off. I should have said at the start of the show, instead of a feel-good Friday, it's a French fry Friday. So apparently the most important holiday on the American calendar. We're just going to forget about Christmas, Thanksgiving, the Super Bowl, 4th of July. Today is National Friday. So apparently every fast food chain in America just looked around and said, you know what? Let's just start giving away fucking potatoes. McDonald's, Wendy's, Chick-fil-A, Sonic, Smashburger, Arby's, fucking Del Tacos even got fries. For fuck's sake. Imagine that. Del Taco with fries. At this point, you can basically eat fries all weekend and never pay full price here. I don't think more American would be getting free fries while watching baseball and placing a bet. All right, let's see what we have cooked up next here on Off the Rails. Oh, God. Apparently, some UCLA students are struggling to read at a 6th grade level here. That's pretty fucking concerning, considering most of these kids are paying $50 grand to go to school here, and they can't read at a 6th grade level. Let's just fire this clip. This is terrible.
The Carey tried to ambush the extortion scheme.
What does that mean?
I don't even know. I can't say that. Tried to ambush the extortion scheme.
What does that mean?
I don't know. The university student procured an off-campus accommodation via the platform Unishack. Unishack does that?
Wow. Listen, I don't know what's scarier, the statistic, the student loan bill. Well, more Charlie Sheen. Listen, he got pulled over doing 161 miles an hour, which that pretty much sounds like the most Charlie Sheen sentence ever spoken. 161 miles an hour. I mean, that's like entering another state, another fucking portal, time traveling. But this is Charlie Sheen. I believe he was driving a Porsche at the time, going 161 miles an hour.
I had a Porsche in 1987, and I used to live at County Line. You know where that is?
Sure.
Up in Neptune's Nest, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And there was one night I hadn't had a drink, and there was nobody on the road. About 3 a.m. It was a hardtop 911S, I think it was, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful car, and I wanted to see what the damn thing could do. And stupidly, I got it up to about 161. Right?
Wow.
Yeah, I went for it, and the broken yellow line turned solid.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's when I needed like 5 miles to slow down.
Right.
Because I just started, I didn't want to jam on the brakes, but the road was so smooth and just, it was just a perfect moon. And I had passed a cop, like, probably between, 110 and 130. So he takes a long time to get to me.
Right.
And he pulls me over, and platoon had come out. But I didn't have the kind of recognition yet that made its way into,
zeitgeist.
Yeah, or getting in new cars, like those moments.
Right.
and he says, what's going on? And I didn't have a cover story. And I said, just got this empty road, nothing to drink. I just really wanted to see if what the car could do. And the guy takes a beat and he says, well, you may want to slow down before you ruin a perfectly good piece of machinery.
Yeah.
It wasn't about me.
Right.
It was about
Cops.
don't destroy this car. I had a
Oh, God. These Charlie Sheen clips are so good. All right. So, look, if everybody thought AI was going to take over and were worried about losing their job, I think we might be okay, at least for now. This AI drive-through somehow charged the guy over $15,000 for his order. $15,000 for an order. I think this was White Castle.
Your number 12 combo.
Why does it says $147? Why does it say that?
Just wait. Here it comes.
What drink would you like for your number 12 combo?
Bro, what the fuck? Give me a team member. What the fuck?
$15,000 for White Castle. Charlie Sheen didn't spend that much on hookers and blow in a weekend. At that price, I don't want fries and a burger. I want fucking ownership in the restaurant. How does that happen? Oh. All right. Now, this is pretty fucking wild. I don't know whether to laugh. This is funny. But this is really... How was this person even allowed back on the road to even fucking drive and cause this wild police chase? Imagine you're just minding your business on the golf course one day and you see a police chase just coming through. This guy wanted on stole a vehicle, attempted murder charges, and now he's causing police chase on a golf course. At some point, it stopped being Grand Theft Auto and really became a reality. Good Lord. And then we got, this is becoming a recurrent theme with David Lee Roth. More bad David Lee Roth clips. I don't know. Tickets anywhere from like $50 to $100 to see you. How old is he now? Like 70 something? I don't know. Whatever, $50 to $100 to see David Lee Roth. This is still way more expensive than it should be. But this is, I believe this was in New Jersey the other week. This is David Lee Roth. I mean, this keeps getting weirder and weirder with him.
Lee Roth is an anagram for the devil. Lift your chin up high, stuck up, lick your toes.
You should probably put the drink down.
Say hello to my little friend, David. Hey, here I come. Well, I'm a seaside city, just smoking anything and everything. Whoa, top of the world, top of the world.
Good Lord. Like, I don't know what's aging worse. David Lee Roth's vocals, my fucking back. But again, this just proves a point, like we said the other week. Van Hagar or Van Halen. Van Hagar by a fucking miles. Yeah. Fucking said it. Oh, God. And back to New York City. So apparently, New York City is now serving coffee in plastic pouches. Supposedly more environmentally friendly. I don't know. She's going to show the bag. This is just odd. It looks like a fucking colostomy bag. I don't know. Maybe it's like an old man in me, and I don't know. I feel like coffee belongs in a fucking cup, though, and not with a fucking paper and straw or stir either. Like these fucking supposedly more environmentally friendly. Fuck that. Coffee, it looks like a fucking IV bag or a colostomy bag. And I'm not trying to drink a coffee or a latte that looks like it came from a fucking blood bank. What the fuck are we doing? And then we go to the Pirates game the other night. Now, some of these broadcasters, they just never disappoint. So what this guy is holding, it looks like a fucking dildo. I mean, what are we doing? What the hell is going on in Pittsburgh? And how does this even happen? Let's just watch the fucking clip.
That's a couple of homers there.
What the fuck?
Trying to get him a third home run and 10 RBIs. Remember these?
He says, remember these. What the fuck is that? Is that like some cheap promotion they gave away? Like, years ago, remember these? It's got fucking a dildo. I don't know how that happens. But it's not shocking. It's fucking Pittsburgh. Sticking with baseball, is there anything John Gruden can't do? I mean, dude throws out the first pitch today, Yankees-Rays game. Naturally paints the fucking corner. I mean, of course, fucking John Gruden. Fucking rifled it right in there. Football coach, TV analyst, internet sensation, apparently now a relief pitcher too. What can't this fucking guy do? We'll stay in Tampa. Listen, Max Schumann not having a good time in Tampa. I'm sure he had a hell of a time trying to explain to his teammates what happened during this play.
Down the left field, on the run is Schumann. He does. He can't get there, and it bounces over the wall.
I'll tell you what, Yankees or Mets, New York baseball is just in a bad way right now. Just in a bad way. If you're a Mets or Yankees fan, my money's on the Yankees correcting it before the Mets ever do. But all right, and this guy's a fucking prize. Now, this is allegedly being reported from TMZ, and there is no video, just this guy's fucking picture. This man allegedly cut off his penis and lit it on fire. Now, some people say, hey, I made a huge mistake. This guy was a pretty creative way in saying he made a huge mistake. So this guy's from Indiana, allegedly cut off his own junk, doused it with gasoline, and then lit it on fire. Somewhere right now, Darwin just nodding in approval. Get the fuck out of Indiana. It's unbelievable. So, yeah, I don't know what's worse, this or the fucking penis guy. This might be worse, because this is just a slap in the face. So, this is being reported by this reporter, the Philadelphia Inquirer, and we'll roll the clip, but let me just set it up here. So, apparently, there was a bettor on FanDuel who lost $1.5 million sports betting. $1.5 million. And, this is what this guy got.
A personal video message from Bryce Harper arrived on the cell phone of a habitual sports bettor in November 2024.
Hey Terry, what's up, brother? Hey man, your host Brittany from FanDuel wanted to make sure your Thanksgiving was extra special.
A Montgomery County resident named Terry Thompson lost $1.5 million on bets with FanDuel Sportsbook during the last 6 years. In February, Terry was diagnosed with a gambling addiction. While Thompson gambled away his family's life savings, he allegedly heard often from FanDuel employees. In a recently filed lawsuit, Thompson's attorneys allege that a FanDuel VIP employee enticed him to place more bets by giving him exclusive rewards, like a $500 bottle of champagne and tickets to 2 Super Bowls. The video from Harper, face of the Phillies and a 2-time National League Most Valuable Player, was another reward. In the video, Harper mentions Thompson and his son by name.
I just wanted to hop on here and wish you and your family a wonderful Thanksgiving. Tell I said hello. I appreciate all the support through the years.
It's hard to miss how commonplace gambling ads have become in professional sports. But this is something different. It's a personal message from an active Major League Baseball player, a superstar, to a VIP bettor, who by definition has to be wagering large sums of money often.
We shared the video of Harper with his agent, Scott Boras, and with the Phillies and Major League Baseball. Neither Boras, nor the Phillies, nor MLB would comment.
We don't know if FanDuel paid Harper for the video or if he's recorded others for other VIP bettors. When I saw the video, I was surprised, but I decided to reach out to some experts to see if it was actually unprecedented or problematic. Jody Balsam was a longtime attorney for the NFL who oversaw league policy.
The core question, does having a Major League Baseball player reach out to a high roller bettor in this way undermine the integrity messaging that Major League Baseball is trying to project? Does it create the appearance that players are encouraging wagering on games that they influence?
I asked her if she thought Bryce Harper's video violated Major League Baseball's policy on sports betting.
It doesn't seem to violate the letter of that law, but I think the more important question is, does it violate the spirit of that law? Even if no existing rule expressly prohibits a Major League player from doing what Bryce Harper did in that video, you could still conclude that it is conduct detrimental, that it is inconsistent with the spirit of gambling policies. It's as much in the player's interest as it is in the league's to protect league integrity and forego some sources of revenue to do so.
In March, attorneys for the Public Health Advocacy Institute filed a lawsuit on Terry Thompson's behalf against FanDuel and DraftKings. By then, Thompson was in deep financial ruin. He couldn't bear to tell his family the scope of his losses, so he texted his therapist and indicated that he was planning to take his life. Thompson is now undergoing treatment for gambling addiction.
Can you imagine losing $1.5 million gambling with FanDuel? I mean, and then your VIP rep. It's like a slap in the face. And all you get for it is a Bryce Harper cameo video. You know, listen, if we're a betting program, look, bet responsibly. That clearly wasn't responsible gambling on his part. I do have one more before I get to the wholesome segment. I almost forgot that I just found. So we're going to roll this one real quick. So I did forget this, because this is actually pretty good. And then we'll get to the wholesome part. Now, this guy, last week we had the Mother of the Year with the kid lighting off fireworks inside the house, the toddler. Now we have Father of the Year here. Now, some would argue it could be the exact opposite. But dad hands a kid some money, tips a belly dancer, and, well, Father of the Year, or the complete opposite. He just keeps feeding the kid money. Apparently we're just skipping Little League and going right to life lessons. Some families teach their kids how to balance a checkbook. You got others, like this guy said, nah, we're going to learn economics the hard way. Or or maybe the easy way, or another way. There's another way. Whatever. The value of $1. Oh, God. Oh, God. I don't know where the hell we were. We are trying to get to the wholesome part. Oh, yeah. Yeah, here we go. So the wholesome part, as we said, is 99.9% dogs, how we end this part. Because that's just too much chaos. So we have to make it somewhat wholesome before we get out of here. Because not everything on the internet is a complete train wreck. But, I mean, how do you not love bark at the park? I mean...
Simba Cam was thrown up, which was ironic because Simba is a cat, right? Well, big lion, but
baseball, hot
dogs,
dogs, dogs.
Mesmerizing. This is disturbing.
That is one of the greatest inventions. Promos, minor league, major league.
There's a lot of stress. The owners are having a great time.
Bark at the park. It doesn't get any better than that. All right, and look, if you're a dog owner, ever owned a dog, you already know this. Look, they haven't eaten in 7 minutes. They've already been fed twice, and somehow they act like they're experiencing the Great Depression.
Where's Zico?
Are you taking a video?
John Morant's decided to play.
Y la cogí, mira. ¡No! ¡Oh!
No, Jolie! No!
No! No! Eh! Eh!
Happy birthday to you! Oh my God!
No. Sonny boy!
So freaking. Excuse me! No! No!
Oh, God. You gotta love that. All right. Now, this next one, this story is pretty incredible. So, this guy spent 5 hours catching fish, takes a nap, he wakes up, all the fish are gone. But turns out, his dog has been secretly taking the fish out of the bucket and feeding a dolphin. Is he the nicest dog in America? Or it's the worst fishing partner in history? And there's Flipper coming to get the fish. All right, one more dog clip before I get out of here. I mean, this is the oldest crime in dog history here. Food theft. They know it's wrong. They know they're busted. And somehow they still look offended every time they get caught.
Unbelievable. No.
What are you doing?
Coco.
Excuse me, sir.
Bo, can you explain that?
Did you steal my phone? Did you?
You take a whole turkey off the counter?
Seriously, Toby?
A whole turkey. Was it good?
precious. Hello.
And that is why we call it Off the Rails. Sports, the internet, random chaos, and a whole lot of dogs. We'll find more ridiculous stuff next week because we always do. The internet never disappoints, ever. So another edition next week. If we have more stuff, maybe we'll do it throughout the week. But that'll wrap it up for Off the Rails for this week. So hopefully you enjoyed it. That's a wrap for the show tonight. A little bit longer because we did the Fourth and Goal, the debut edition here this week on Off the Hook, and Fourth and Goal will be its own playlist, its own thing as we move into college and NFL. And then up next week, we'll go to the AFC East, and we'll look at the New England Patriots. Went through the NFC West tonight on Fourth and Goal and gave you predictions, future props, all that stuff. So same thing for the next now 7 weeks until the start of the NFL season. So that is a wrap for us here tonight. If you enjoyed the show, you learned something. Hopefully you got a few laughs, at least in Off the Rails. Look, smash the fucking like button, the subscribe button, and look, share this with a friend because every little bit helps us continue to build this thing the right way. And listen, make sure you're following us on X at OTH Sports Pod, as well as here, as well. It's right here on YouTube at OTH Sports Pod. Most of the stuff posted at X, daily plays, Pikkit play of the day, breaking news, clips, live show announcements, whatever you feel like posting. But everything posted on X at OTH Sports Pod. So go ahead and smash the like, subscribe, and join us because we're back tomorrow. More MLB, more golf. Hell, maybe another mini Off the Rails because who knows what I'll find tonight. And listen, make sure you download the Pikkit app. If you're not using it already, you're already behind the 8 ball and you're betting blind. Google Play Store, the App Store, download the Pikkit app, put in code OTH when you sync your books, track your crew, your bets, line movements, all in one place with the Pikkit app. And hey, look, powers the show, and it's how we track all the action right there on the Pikkit app. So come join us. Let's have fun on Pikkit. And we always say we're going to keep doing this thing the way we've always done it. No paywalls, no VIP packages, no subscriptions, no pay-to-play picks, none of that bullshit. Look, just going to talk some sports, try to find an edge, give you some betting insight, and just a community of people just trying to get a little better every day. And Tommy Trends, my boys Mookie and Nash giving me the hard stare. They want to eat, they want to go for a walk. So that's what I'm going to do. They're like, shut the fuck up. We need to eat and go for a walk. All right, they win. This is Off the Hook, sports talk that pays off. Remember, the books don't give refunds. Make sure you do your homework. Shop the lines. Use that Pikkit app. Never stop looking for an edge. Good luck in your bets nights. Let's cash some of these tickets. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. Let's cook the fucking books and cash some of these tickets tonight. Good luck. Good night. See you guys tomorrow. See ya.